What exactly is an index fund? Investing in the stock market sounds great until you actually have to pick something. Apple looks strong, Tesla feels exciting, and Coca-Cola seems safe. You start overthinking, and before you know it, you're 3 YouTube videos deep, comparing dividend yields at 2 a.m. That's where index funds step in, the stress-free alternative to guessing. An index fund is a simple, low-cost way to invest in many companies at once. Instead of buying one stock and hoping it performs well, you buy a basket of hundreds that all track a specific index, like the S&P 500. That means when you buy a single share of an index fund, you instantly own a little piece of Apple, Microsoft, McDonald's, Walmart, and hundreds of others. You're not betting on one company winning. You're betting on the entire market growing over time. The beauty? It's passive. There's no fund manager trying to outsmart the market, no expensive trades, just a system quietly copying an index. And because it's automated, the fees are ridiculously low. Most index funds charge between 0.02% and 0.20% per year. To put that in perspective, if you invest $1,000, you're paying 20 cents to $2 annually in fees, less than a single convenience store coffee. Compare that to old-school mutual funds, where you might pay 20 times more for someone guessing wrong half the time. Now, here's something people forget. Index funds are priced only once per day. At the end of each trading day, the fund calculates something called its net asset value, or NAV, basically the average value of everything it owns. So even if you place your order at 10 a.m., you'll get the same end-of-day price as everyone else. It's like pre-ordering dinner early, but the kitchen only serves at closing time. Taxes add another twist. In some countries, Spain for example, you can switch from one index fund to another without paying capital gains tax right away. In others, like the US, you'll pay tax whenever you sell. So always check your local tax laws before moving money around. The government loves surprise donations. Big providers like Vanguard, Fidelity, and BlackRock dominate this space because they keep fees low and management simple. For most long-term investors, index funds are like a crock pot for wealth. Slow, steady, and nearly impossible to mess up. ETFs explained, the more flexible cousin. If index funds are the slow cooker, ETFs are the air fryer of investing. Faster, more flexible, and a little more exciting. ETF stands for Exchange Traded Fund. Just like index funds, ETFs hold baskets of stocks, for instance. The Vanguard S&P 500 ETF, VOO, owns the same 500 companies as an S&P 500 index fund. The difference? ETFs trade on stock exchanges just like regular stocks. That means you can buy or sell them anytime the market's open, and their prices move all day long based on supply and demand. Index funds wait until market close. ETFs let you jump in and out instantly. If index funds are dinner reservations, ETFs are a buffet walk-in, eat, leave whenever. That flexibility attracts many investors. You can react quickly to dips, rebalance instantly, or set price limits, but it can also tempt you to overtrade, reacting to every blip on your phone. Long-term investors don't need to check daily prices. Your portfolio isn't a social media feed. Most ETFs are passive, simply tracking an index, but some are actively managed, meaning fund managers pick stocks trying to beat the market. Sounds impressive, right? Except studies show only about 3 out of 10 managers actually outperform over time. So paying higher fees for an expert often just means funding someone's bonus while they trail the index. The Vanguard VOO ETF is a classic example. It tracks the S&P 500, has an expense ratio of only 0.03%, pays quarterly dividends, and lists top holdings like Apple, Microsoft, and Amazon. It's about as efficient as investing gets. There are also accumulating ETFs that automatically reinvest dividends, helping your returns compound quietly in the background. Tax implications of ETFs. Now for the tax advantage that makes ETFs famous. Unlike mutual or some index funds, ETFs use an in-kind creation and redemption process. Translation: when big investors trade ETF shares, the fund swaps stocks instead of selling them. That means fewer taxable sales happen inside the fund, resulting in lower capital gains distributions to you. In short, you're generally taxed only when you sell your ETF or receive dividends. You don't get surprise tax bills because the fund had to reshuffle its holdings. That's a big deal for investors in taxable accounts. Of course, every country has its own rules, so check your local laws or risk giving an accidental thank you tip to your tax authority. Before we keep going, quick challenge. Open your investing app after this video and check the fees on your funds. If they're above 0.5%, you're overpaying. Consider switching to a low-cost ETF or index fund this month. You'll thank yourself in 10 years. Index funds versus ETFs. Head-to-head. Time to settle it once and for all. Which one's better? Let's score them round by round. Round 1, trading flexibility. ETFs trade all day long. Index funds don't. If you want control, ETFs win. If you prefer simplicity, index funds keep your hands off the wheel. Winner for this round, ETFs. Round 2, minimum investment. Many index funds require at least $1,000. With ETFs, you can buy a single share or even a fraction. Winner, ETFs. Round 3, fees. Both have ultra-low expense ratios, but ETFs sometimes include a tiny bid-ask spread. Index funds usually don't. Winner, tie. Round 4, taxes. ETFs are more tax-efficient in regular accounts thanks to that in-kind system. In retirement accounts, both are equal. Winner, ETFs. Round 5, ease of use. Index funds are the definition of autopilot. Set, forget, repeat. ETFs require a bit more effort. Winner for round 5, index funds. Round 6, dividends. Index funds reinvest automatically. ETFs might need you to toggle reinvestment manually. Winner, index funds. Final score. ETFs win for flexibility, accessibility, and tax efficiency. Index funds win for automation, discipline, and simplicity. If you're the optimize every detail type, go ETF. If you prefer to set it and forget it, go index fund. Both build wealth, just in slightly different styles. Common misconceptions. Myth number 1, ETFs always perform better. False. If both track the same index, their returns are nearly identical. ETFs just let you trade more often, which, ironically, hurts many investors' results. Myth number 2, active ETFs beat the market. Only about 30% do. The rest charge higher fees to deliver average results. It's like paying business class prices for economy class turbulence. Myth number 3, ETFs are risk-free because they're diversified. Diversification lowers risk. It doesn't erase it. A tech sector ETF can drop 20% as fast as any stock. More eggs, same basket. Myth number 4, index funds are outdated. Tell that to Warren Buffett, who wants 90% of his wealth in an S&P 500 index fund after he's gone. If old-fashioned builds billions, maybe it's not such a bad label. Myth number 5, you must choose one forever. Nope. Many investors use both. ETFs for flexibility in taxable accounts, index funds for automation in retirement plans. It's not marriage, it's a toolbox. Real-world examples. Which one fits you? Let's see how this plays out in real life. Example 1, Sarah, the long-term builder. Sarah invests automatically every month into a low-cost index fund. She never checks daily prices, reinvests dividends automatically, and lets compound interest do its thing. Her portfolio grows quietly while others panic sell during headlines. Best fit? Index fund. Example 2, Jason, the opportunist. Jason follows markets closely. When prices drop, he buys extra ETF shares instantly. He enjoys the control and likes setting price limits. He's disciplined, though he trades with a plan, not emotions. Best fit, ETF. Example 3, Priya, the strategist. Priya invests globally. She holds ETFs in her taxable account for tax efficiency and index funds inside her retirement plan for automation. She's using both tools exactly as designed. Best fit, both. The pattern is clear. It's not about which one is best overall. It's about which one fits your behavior. Because no fund, no matter how efficient, can protect you from bad investing habits. Staying invested, the real secret. Here's the unspoken truth. Whether you choose an index fund or an ETF, the biggest factor in your success is time, not timing. If you invest consistently, keep costs low, and avoid panic selling, you'll likely outperform 90% of people chasing hot tips. Market dips, they happen. Boring years, they happen too. But every year you stay invested, compounding does its quiet magic, turning small, steady contributions into life-changing sums. So instead of stressing over which fund is better, focus on staying in the market, not guessing when to get out. If this video helped you finally understand the difference between index funds and ETFs, tap that like button. It tells the algorithm to show this to more future investors. Subscribe for clear, no-fluff investing videos every week, and share this with a friend who's still trying to time the market. Because the truth is simple. Time in the market beats timing the market every single time. Here's a quick recap. Index funds. Cheap, automatic, long-term, one price per day. ETFs. Flexible. Real-time. Slightly more control, slightly more temptation, both. Incredible tools for building wealth. The difference isn't the product, it's the person using it. Stay invested, stay patient, and let compounding handle the rest.